Hey everybody, it's Julie. Thanks for joining me here on the Ellen Hutson blog. In today's video, I thought it would be fun to share two ways of using the Skelly add-on dies from the Essentials by Ellen holiday release, which is coming up October 9th. And if you can hear my dog in the background, I'm sorry. He's barking at something and he will not stop. So I'm just forging ahead. Now, I've grabbed some of this peel and stick. This is a great adhesive for working with felt. I've used wet glues in the past, but this stuff is the best. You don't have to wait for it to dry, and it is super, super sticky. So I applied that to one side of my felt, and then I'm going to lay my dies down on top of that and send it through my die cutting machine. Now, this stuff will cut beautifully through either machine. You know, if you're using a Gemini Junior or you're using a Spellbinders Platinum 6, no problem. If you do need additional shims, you can use the metal shim that comes with either machine to give you a little bit of extra oomph there to cut all the way through the felt. But I didn't have any trouble. So now I've got the body of the ginger boy, and I folded my felt in half and laid that die on top of it, sent that through the machine, no problems with cutting. In this kit for the ginger boy, there's an additional stitching guide. So if you need that because you need help keeping your stitches nice and even, go ahead and send it through again with the stitching holes die. But I like doing mine without those holes, and I just like to freehand my stitching, so I skipped that part. And then I did go ahead and prep all the pieces for the voodoo doll, and I went ahead and put the the peel and stick onto the felt and cut all those bits out. So now I'm just positioning them here on the body. So once I'm sure I have what I want, now I decided that the stitching line there that's kind of curved, it could be a smiley face. Or if you don't like that, you could use it the way I'm going to, which is just going to look like some stitching marks there on his leg. And you could use the mouth from the Ginger Boy die set to create a cute little mouth. Now, after I got everything anchored down in place, stuck on there, I sent it through my die cutting machine, sandwiched in between some clean scratch paper. And the reason for that is I just want to make sure I have everything pressed down firmly everywhere, so I don't have to worry about, oh, I didn't press in that spot later on. So I just did an all over, send it through the flat. Everything's nice and flat and secure. And then I'm going to do any decorative stitching I want at this point now before I assemble the back and the front together. So this way, any of my knots and everything will be hidden there behind, and I don't have to worry about that later on. It's just a lot easier to add those decorative stitches right now instead of later. So now I can go ahead and take the front of the body and the back of the body and layer those together. And I like to use some straight pins to just keep it all together while I'm working. And I'm going to do a blanket stitch. Now, I didn't show the blanket stitch here, but I do have a video I'm going to link you to up in the upper right corner there of the screen, and you can go and see how to do a blanket stitch. I'm going to stuff my voodoo doll with polyfill. There's a variety of things you could use for stuffing. You could use like dried lavender or potpourri. You can use yarn. You can use wool stuffing, cotton stuffing. I found this polyfill at my local Walmart. I don't have a lot of choices here where I live, so I just grabbed the polyfill because that's going to last me forever. I got lots of projects I can use it on. And then I'm going to stuff little bits of this in at one time, trying to stuff down into the feet and the arms. And if you need to, you can use a chopstick to kind of push some of those into the tighter spots and nooks and corners there. And then I white embossed a sentiment from the Bad Day set onto a black shipping tag, which I attached, and I think it's hilarious. I have a lot of friends who would get a total belly laugh out of getting something like this from me. So I'm going to be making my list. Now, another fun idea I thought would be cute for Dia de los Muertos would be to cut some of the skeleton heads out of white cardstock. So I used Nina's Solar White, the heavyweight stuff, and I cut 5 of them. Well, actually, I cut 10. The blank ones are going to be for the backing, and then the front ones are going to be colored like this. And I'm not doing anything particularly difficult. I'm just making some simple shapes and dots and ovals and things like that, and drawing some eyelashes on there with Copic markers. And that's all it takes. There's no rocket science behind this, nothing difficult. They're basically just doodles, simple doodle shapes. Dia de los Muertos, also known as Day of the Dead, is a traditional holiday down in Mexico, and it occurs over a period of a few days at the very, very beginning of November to honor and celebrate their ancestors and their loved ones who have passed away. It's a beautiful, beautiful holiday. It's filled with color and light and joy. And there are periods, like Noche de Muertos in the evening, that can be more somber and serious, but it's a joyful holiday. It's not like Halloween. A lot of Americans tend to signify it because of the timing of the holiday. They equate it to Halloween, but it is really not like that. It's more like Memorial Day, but done in the style of the Latin Americans down in Mexico. So now I've got my calaveras de azúcar. These are sugar skulls, and this is one of the popular. They make these little tiny skulls out of sugar and decorate them. They're very colorful and cool. And I wanted to make these out of paper to go onto some cupcakes as cupcake toppers. So I've die cut some that I colored, and then I die cut an equal amount and left them just blank white because they're going to become the backing for my cupcake toppers. So I put some glue dots on the center there, just below the nose and above the mouth, and then I added some foam adhesive there to the white backing piece. And I have these little wooden like picks that are kind of like toothpicks. They're a little bit bigger. Maybe they're used for appetizers. But you could certainly use any toothpicks you find at the supermarket for these and glue them in. I like the flat topped ones. And there you go. I have a finished calavera de azúcar. I have a whole bunch of them here that I can put into some cupcakes. And I think this is a really fun way to celebrate Dia de los Muertos and a great use of the Skelly add on from the holiday release. I hope this has inspired some ideas for you, and thanks for watching.